Yappers! Summer is coming to a close, and so is our series on The Summer I Turned Pretty Season 3. Today, Alyanna and I yap all about the last 4 episodes of The Summer I Turned Pretty. We discuss Conrad and Belly's adorable reunion, Jeremiah's growth and maturity, and the possibility of a Christmas special, which we now know is actually a full-blown movie that will be coming out in the near future. Buckle in, yappers. Your deep dive on The Summer I Turned Pretty Season 3, episodes 8 through 11 starts now.
Hello, fellow yappers. I'm Ruchi.
And I'm Shalini, and we're your hosts of Binge, Yap, Repeat.
We're 2 best friends who spend an embarrassing amount of time binge-watching TV, and honestly, we just need to talk about it. If you're here, we're guessing you do too.
Fair warning, this is a spoiler-friendly zone. We will be discussing lots of spoilers. So, if you haven't watched the show yet, hit pause, go binge, and come back when you're ready to yap with us.
And now, it's yap time.
Welcome back, yappers. I am here with Alyanna one more time. We are here today to talk about the last part of The Summer I Turned Pretty Season 3. We are covering episodes 8 through 11. We will probably be spending most of our time on the finale that I just watched. Alyanna watched like 3 hours ago. For context, it is 10 a.m. on Wednesday, September 17th, and so the episode just dropped like 10 hours ago. We have both watched it, and we are here to record this episode for you, yappers.
The commitment is real. Watching this at 8 a.m. was an emotional roller coaster, to say the least.
Yeah.
I didn't even finish my coffee yet, and I was already crying, so...
I'm actually impressed with us that we didn't like stay up super late to watch it, because I feel
there were
like
a lot of people who did. I saw a lot
there
of
were a
comments
lot of people
that they stayed up till 3 a.m. or whatever time it was for them.
I did wake up at 3:30 a.m. just like randomly, and I checked my phone and I was like, oh, that episode's out. Should I watch it now? And then I was like, no, Shalini, go back to sleep. It will be there when you wake
Later.
up.
And immediately when I woke up, I checked to see how long it was because of those theories that were floating around, and I saw it was over an hour, and I was like, okay, that makes sense. Wish I had more, but also it worked out for our schedules that it was not like a 2.5 hour finale, so I was overall happy about it.
Me too. All right, let's get into it. Alyanna, let's start by just talking about our overall thoughts for the finale. If you want to talk about the rest of the season as well, feel free. But yeah, let's get it all out there. What were your thoughts?
Oh my gosh. I would say overall I would say pleased. I was happy about it. Obviously I wanted a little bit more. Like I wanted to see Belly on her wedding day. I wanted to see them with kids. I wanted to see them in the cousin's house, of course. But overall, I was happy with it. And I would say there were some small kind of surprises for me throughout the episode. One example, just quickly, is that I thought Conrad seeing Belly would be even more dramatic because there are all these theories like Conrad shows up at her 22nd birthday party unannounced, so I think also maybe Jenny Han, that was her intention, but it was smart to start off the episode with them actually having the reunion because then we got more time with both of them and to see the progression, of course. But what I'm not happy about is Jenny Han had me choked up for an hour and 19 minutes. I don't remember how long the episode was, but I was like, am I on my period? Because I feel so emotional for these people that don't exist. Conrad was in pain for most of the episode. Belly was kind of cold and like too cool for maybe the first half. So I was just like, put this man out of his misery. He came to Paris to see you, girl. Like, go smooch him, we're all waiting. But overall, back to the original question, overall, I was happy with it. What about you? What were your thoughts on it?
I was also happy. I think, I would have loved to see more after their happy ending, but I actually thought it was very good storytelling to leave it until the last like 5 minutes basically. When they had their conversation in bed before he went and got his train, right as he was getting up to go, I was like, how much time is left? And it was like 11 minutes. And so I was like,
I
how are they
checked
going to
too.
resolve this? Yeah. And I'm actually really happy
Uh-huh.
about the way it resolved. And yeah, I just thought it was really good storytelling. Like,
Yeah.
we didn't need an entire episode of them having a happy ending. I think that wouldn't have
I
felt right.
do.
Like, okay. Sorry, let me rephrase. I think we would have loved to see it. It would have been like fun for us, but it wouldn't have had this like we wouldn't have had the same emotional pull if there was no conflict until the
Of
very end.
course.
And so I thought the way they laid it out was really good. I loved how the episode kind of played out with their just like cheeky smiles, stealing
Oh
glances
my
at each
gosh.
other.
I felt sick to my stomach. All of my
Well,
notes, the most used word is sick in all caps. I felt sick. The way he was looking at her, I feel like we need to lay the rumors down because there are rumors that Chris Briny doesn't show emotion when he's acting. He was
what?
really having me feel all the feels. Like the way he was looking at her, you just could tell he was so happy to be there. Like he was so grateful to see her again and see her life, but also it was bittersweet for him because he's not part of her life now. I felt all of that, and that's why I was choked up the whole time. I was like, "Oh my gosh, like stop looking at me with those eyes. I can't."
I know. Okay, that I felt that especially in the train when she comes up to him and she's like, "Is the seat taken?" And he looks at her and his eyes are glistening with tears and he's looking at
Mhm.
her with this look that's like, can I really believe that this is happening to me? Is this
Mhm.
real? Like he looked sad and so happy at the very same time. I thought it
Mhm.
was very, very
Great.
impressive how he did that.
And that makes me think he's probably had that, sad trip home so many times. She's a villain. She's a bad person. Belly, what have you done? He's had that trip home where he's just like heartbroken because she chose Jeremiah, or at the wedding, she left. She didn't tell anyone where she went. And this every single season he's probably had that trip. So he felt like, oh, it's even worse because he got so close. Like it was reciprocated to some extent, but she
Mhm.
doesn't feel the exact same way I feel about her, and our lives are in different places. I could feel it
Yeah.
all. But yeah, I was
Yeah.
so happy. I was like, this is Conrad's show at this point. I
Yeah.
was so happy to see that. And I think it was such a tease to have the Christmas album at the end. I wish they had more pictures throughout their lives. I'm still happy I saw them, but I would have loved to see like different seasons and maybe even like the proposal picture, or even just like a small tease into their life. That's the one thing that I really wanted at the end.
Have you seen the rumors about the Christmas photos
No?
or anything about it? Okay, so there is a rumor that the whole Christmas album was an Easter egg for a Christmas special coming out this December. Beep boop, beep boop. Hey, yappers. This is Editing Shalini reporting in at 9 p.m. in Denver. Alyanna called me on my way to the airport to let me know that just 30 minutes after we recorded our episode, The Summer I Turned Pretty and Jenny Han announced that they are actually releasing a movie, which many of you probably saw on social media. So there may not be a Christmas special per se, but we will be getting more in the form of a full-length feature film. I am so excited. I just had to chime in to let you guys know we recorded this before we had heard the news, so we will probably talk more about the possibility of a Christmas special, but just know that we are getting a movie. All right, back to the episode. And this is definitely clowning, but I saw this on social media. You know how there were all of these 14 symbols all over the place um
Yeah.
in the
And
last
that's
few
why people thought
episodes?
there would
So
be 3 more
14
episodes, right?
episodes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the first time we see it, she's wearing a sweatshirt that says 14 on it in the first Christmas episode at the beginning of the season. Then when he's buying his plane ticket to Paris, there's a 14. And so that we've been seeing 14 all over the place. And so people now think that the Christmas special is dropping on December 14th. And
Mm.
the reason is one, ending with a Christmas song was very odd, I would say, for a summer show. Obviously, it's like a bit of a nod back to the beginning of the season where they spent that one Christmas together, but very odd way to end the show. Secondly, Jenny Han's note at the end with the credits. Did you see that?
Yes. Yeah, I
Okay,
forget the
yeah.
exact wording, but she said something alluding to whether it's the last if it's the last time or not. Do you
Yeah,
remember the
she said like
wording?
let me find the exact wording because I don't want to get this wrong.
Mhm.
Okay, I'll just read the whole letter in case any of the yappers didn't catch this at the very end of the show. So, it's a letter with like very cousinsy letterhead. There's a shell at the top with the name Jenny Han under it. And then she writes, "Thank you from the bottom of my heart for all of the love you've shown the summer I turned pretty all these years. Whether you've been with Belly since the very first book or joined in with the show, I'm so grateful you've made Belly's story part of your summers. We've put our whole hearts into the show, and we're so thankful to you for coming along with us for the ride. Maybe we'll meet again one summer in Cousins. Until then, all of my love always, Jenny." So, the maybe we'll meet again one summer in Cousins. Okay, obviously Christmas is not summer, but
Mhm.
yeah, that made me think. I was like, is this the end? I don't know if she would have written that if there wasn't more coming. And then
I know.
there were a few other Easter eggs. Apparently, Lola Tung was photographed with Jenny Han and Lauren Graham, who plays Lorelai Gilmore.
Really?
And Lola had a very Christmassy dress on. It was like
Mhm.
red and black, patterned with like a white collar, which looked super Christmassy. And then Jenny Han was
Oh.
later photographed in like a very red and green dress. It was like roses with leaves, but it was super red and green.
Yeah,
So yeah, so
that's
people are
super hinty. It feels Easter eggy. Why was Lauren Graham in it?
I don't know. I don't know. I think well, maybe she just happened to be there, but
I know that Jenny Han is a fan of Gilmore Girls, though, because in
oh
season
yeah.
2, the Thanksgiving episode, the outfit Belly was wearing, it was directly inspired by Rory, and she confirmed it. So
Yes.
maybe it
Yes,
was
that's
just a
right.
nod to that.
Maybe. But yeah, and so I'm kind of thinking, oh, there was also a shot of the cousin's house, and there were garlands all over the staircase banister, like
Oh,
Christmas
okay.
garlands. And I think, did they show that? I think they showed that at the very last second of the
Maybe.
season,
It was such a
or
dramatic
something.
ending. I,
Yeah.
I waved bye to my screen. I felt so stupid. But I was like, ah, I'm not ready. I love this house. Like, I feel like Susanna watching over it. That
Oh,
would be
yeah.
a cool hint, because then it's
Yeah.
kind of like goodbye, but not for now.
Yeah, so like we'll be back. So I hope we get that. I'm actually hoping that it's a flash forward to when they are a reasonable age to decide to be with each other forever and get married,
Yeah,
not 22. um
yeah.
and
Oh,
they're
that would
like
be so
engaged or
nice.
something and the whole family's back together again. Yeah.
Especially because, like, first of all, John didn't die. I thought he was gonna have a heart attack. I wrote that in my
Yeah.
notes too. Like, John, heart attack, red herring. Jenny Dawn definitely knew what she was doing. With having, because why else would he be complaining about heartburn if she didn't want to allude to kind of how the season began with the medical
Yeah.
emergency and Conrad's obviously studying to be a doctor. But I was kind of missing that reunion with her family as well, because it's a show about the two of them, but I also love her relationship with her mom. I love all of them together and cousins. So I was glad we got to see a glimpse of that at the end of Jeremiah's event with all of them by I think they were all by the dock hanging out.
Mhm.
And it felt very season 1 in Cousins. But I also wanted that for Belly. Like, I was excited for her to see her family again. So part of me was kind of a little bit disappointed that she didn't go back. Um, Also, you're not going to go back for your graduation, girl. Don't make the same mistakes twice. But all that aside, yeah, I kind of missed that. So if they did more episodes, then I hope they would show more of her life, of course, with Conrad, however that may look, but then her with her family again. How is Stephen Taylor doing? I guess Jeremiah and maybe Denise. Like, who knows with them? But I would love to see more episodes. And I saw a lot of comments on one of Jenny Han or the Summer I Turned Pretty's more recent Instagram post saying we want a spin-off just focus on Belly and Conrad. So who knows? I feel like if they did something like that and not too much time passed, a lot of people would be interested in it. So it
Yeah,
would be a good move on their end. It's more so are the actors willing to do it or not.
totally, totally. And I actually think, she hinted at John's heart attack. Maybe that's what brings them together during Christmas. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
don't know.
It could be
Maybe
anything.
that's a reason she comes home. Maybe that could be the conflict that's introduced. It's like has nothing to do with her love life anymore. It's all about how she comes home to
Yeah.
be with her family or something. I would like that.
I would like that. And I also want clarity on what happened with Laurel and John because they were kind of teasing maybe them starting something up this season, but then the last episode, it seems like they're not and it maybe fizzled out or they stopped hanging out with each other. So
I
I thought I
know.
thought we were gonna have a Laurel and John wedding this season. I feel like a clown.
Literally. Same. We talked about that. I think in one of our episodes we were like, "Oh, is the wedding going to turn into John and Laurel's wedding, like Mamma Mia style?" Um
Exactly. But
Oh well.
yeah.
All right, let's talk about the whole finale episode. So it starts with Conrad coming to Paris and seeing Belly get off of Benito's bike.
Girl.
um,
Hair reveal too.
Hair reveal. She like dramatically shakes it
The
around
way
and
she
shows
shook her
off her new
head.
bob. I
Mm-hmm.
know. I was like, that's acting. I can tell.
That's
But
acting.
I didn't hate the hair, but I think she slash the stylist could have done a bit more with it. I think if it had a small curl or like I thought at some point she could have like put it back into a clip or something. I just think there was more she could have done, more they could have done
Yeah.
for her than just like left it kind of hanging. And I think her hair is so thick that like you for hair that short that's that thick, you do need to do
Mm-hmm.
some styling with it.
Yeah.
And I thought that was lacking a little bit.
Yeah, I wrote I don't like her hair, sorry. In my notes. I have my notes out. I think she looks beautiful, but I felt like a mom
Yeah,
haircut because like you said, her hair is super thick, so it was like kind of Lord Farquaad. Sorry, I love Lola Tongue, but
I know.
yeah, I think if she had maybe some bangs or layers, it would have helped a lot. Or like you said, if she styled it a little bit, even just like put half of it up, like a half up, I thought it would look really cute. Or even like pigtails or some like when she's in casual outfits, she could have played with it
Yeah,
a little bit.
something. Because I actually think she looks way better when her hair is back. And so
Yes.
they just could have played around with it a little bit more. I even felt that when her
Hmm.
hair was super long. I was like, she should do something with this beautiful hair rather than just like leave it
Yeah.
down, I think.
When they style it well, you really see like her features and her face. Because I remember, especially season one, it's very much just like normal teenage girl hair, very long and beautiful. But I feel like season three, they did a really great job with how they were styling her. And obviously, she's a little bit older than when she started, but I thought she was
Yeah.
really glowing for a lot of the season, especially her late night beach, um, you know, blow up with Conrad. I thought I couldn't stop looking at the face card. I was like, she looks amazing, but
I
also I was crying because of what they
know.
were talking about.
And even at the very end of the season when her hair was just pinned back into that low bun, I was like, "Oh my God, she looks so gorgeous."
She looks so good. Yeah, it reminded me of like how she did her hair for some of the wedding planning episodes,
Mhm.
and I thought she really looked that's how she looked really pretty. Maybe she did that when she
Yeah.
was apartment hunting. I forget 'cause she also wore a long dress. But
Yeah,
I
I
don't
don't remember
remember.
when it was. I know she also did her hair in a low bun for her debutante ball, um,
Yes,
which I really
that's
liked
true.
also. Yeah.
But I
Um,
was surprised she
okay.
came in with Benito on the bike. I immediately
Yeah.
was like, the kiss on both cheeks. It if they were together, they would have just kissed. So I was like, I think
Yeah.
they already broke up, and he was just helping her out. But it felt so early because the anticipation. So I was like, what is she doing here? And I was like, no, that can't be her. When you saw two pairs of legs, and then I saw the outfit, I was like, oh my god, it's her. So when she got off, I was kind of in disbelief. Like I felt like Conrad. for a second.
I know. I was like,
But
wait,
yeah.
that's her. Who is that? Why are they hugging? But then, yeah, when they didn't kiss on the lips, I was like, okay, I
You kind of
think they
feel it.
broke up and they're gonna reveal that soon. Yeah. And thank
Yeah,
God. Thank God we didn't have to waste time on that breakup. And yeah.
exactly. I'm glad some time had passed from that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I was immediately mad at her. My
Mm.
first comment after that I don't like her hair, sorry, is I fucking hate her. Because
Why?
it was because I was mad because Conrad was, clearly very excited. He was apologetic, like, I know I just showed up out of nowhere and um I just want to come because it's your birthday. And then she said my birthday's tomorrow. I was like, why are you, he knows your birthday, don't be nitpicky,
Yeah.
girl.
Why are
And then
we? Yeah. Why are we nitpicking?
exactly. And then at first, I didn't even think she was going to spend time with him. It seemed like she had a very booked schedule for the day, but her first thing was at 8. I was sitting there like, she's being nonchalant. Of course she is, because she's also caught off guard and stuff. But I thought
Mm-hmm.
she was being very cold to him. Um, Definitely more to protect herself. But I just wanted her to, be happy that he was there, even if nothing came out of it. Just be happy to see someone from her old life, because she hasn't seen anyone except
Mm-hmm.
Taylor this whole year.
Yeah, I agree with you. I do think she was being a bit cold and standoffish. She hesitated before, like, pulling him into a hug. She didn't seem all that excited that he was there.
Mm-hmm.
But I agree also that she was doing it for, like, self-protection reasons. I think for so long she had opened her heart to him, and when it shut down at
Yeah.
the end of season 2, like, it was hard to come back from that. And so I'm
Mm-hmm.
actually glad she took the time to, like, slowly open it back up. I thought that was way more realistic. And I'm also glad that she obviously we also saw this for the rest of the season, but she spent her whole life chasing Conrad. And now that
Mm-hmm.
I've read the books, oh yeah, yappers, in case you were not aware, I read all 3 books in the last 2 weeks to catch up.
That's crazy. And you finished the last one yesterday.
I did. I finished at 8 p.m. last night. Um, so I have all the source material locked and loaded here. And from the books, we even see, and a little bit in the show, but more so in the books, we see that, like, her whole life she was pining for him, and he gave her nothing, like, truly
Mm-hmm.
nothing, until the 6 months of, like, are we a thing? They don't even say in the books that they were actually dating for those 6 months, where he comes and visits her from college and then he takes her to her prom. They didn't even define that. And so I think it was good that she spent some time getting chased by him. And so I think it all made sense that she was a little standoffish. And I'm glad she gave him a chance, at least the chance of spending the day together and just, like,
Mm-hmm.
hanging out again and reminding each other why they love each other's company so much. And you could
Yeah.
see very quickly her cold shell, her wall starts coming down, and she's smiling more and stealing glances and just feeling close with him again.
Yeah, I completely agree. You're so right. I'm just so Team Conrad. I'm blinded by
Yeah.
it. But you're so right. It makes me think of when she was saying at some point during the episode, something about that she had to let him go to make a new life for herself. And so it was probably like how many days of her telling herself that don't think of it as he's waiting for me or I'm waiting for him, because I can't live my life like that. And it was probably in a way not unlearning it, but then kind of just coming to reality again and realizing that he actually still wants to be there for me. He's here to see me. That definitely means something. And then opening herself up to that idea again. But I was really happy when she said he could hang out with him and that he looked so happy. I wrote that down, of course. And then when she went up to put his stuff down, that's when you kind of saw a little bit into her hard shell. And I love to hear her inner monologue when she just said, "What the hell is going on?" Or she said something like that. Um, I felt like it brought back the old Belly in a way. And I wrote down,
Yes.
it's so nice to hear her inner monologue, because I feel like we didn't really get that for a little bit this season.
Yeah. I know. I was really happy to see it too. Also, I loved her little freak out when she put his stuff in her apartment and then she just quickly applied some red lipstick.
So French. Yeah.
So French. And she looked so good. I loved
Mhm.
it. Like her outfit, the lip, her fuck ass bob.
Her fuck ass Bob. I was waiting for someone to say it. No, yeah. That made me happy too. Like she kind of had her Cassie and Euphoria moment where she was like, let's just pull it together. I'm gonna play tour guide. It's gonna be fine. Yeah. I really loved that.
Okay, and then let's talk about the birthday dinner. So,
Yes.
uh Conrad meets Benito. He meets all of her friends. They're all like, "This man is hot, Belly."
I wrote so many notes about that.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. Yeah, what did you write down?
Well, maybe just right before that, their day, I was thinking,
Mm.
this is so sweet that they're sightseeing and everything, but I was also like, I want to see them talk. Like, it feels like still she's a little bit guarded, even though he looks like he's enjoying it. The way they were both acting, it was clear they were enjoying each other's company, but there was an elephant in the room and they weren't actually talking to each other. I don't know if that makes sense, but
Mhm.
when they were in the museum, I was blushing and kicking my feet. The way he was looking at her, I'm like, you have the most beautiful paintings in the world around you. He is not even looking at them. He's looking at her.
I
I thought that
know,
was
and I
so
love
cute.
that shot. It was like slow panning around them, and like you see him looking at her, and then you see her like quickly look at him, and then he looks
He looks
away. It was
away because that's
so
always what
sweet.
they've done. Yeah, I love that. I wrote, he's just looking at her, I'm gonna kill myself. And then I wrote again, okay, I'm so sorry, but she has a Karen haircut. I can't look at her. Conrad's better than me. I would have been like, not sure about that hair, girl.
Yeah,
Um,
ick.
ick. But then I thought the first hint of the real or like the past them was when he said, I wrote it down. I've spent a lot of time imagining your life here, but I wish I could see Paris the way you do. And that's
Mhm.
just, of course, he's in one of the most beautiful cities in the world, but he wants to see how she experiences it. And then when she showed him that view, I feel like that was kind of a moment where a lot of their guard came down on both of their ends, and they were just watching the view together and then even starting to reminisce a little bit. I think the first time she showed, not that she still cared about him, but she showed that she wasn't too cool or nonchalant about this whole thing was when she mentioned that it brought her comfort thinking about what Conrad said the first time he saw the Pacific. My first tear fell. I've been holding it in the whole time, like, I just want them to kiss and be together. And then that happened. I was like, okay, yeah, she does. She does still feel
Mhm.
something for him. And he was
Still in there.
gagged. He was like, what? Me?
Yeah.
He was so happy. So I love that. How did you
So
think about
sweet.
that scene?
I really loved it too, and I am absolutely with you that that was the first time you see her walls come down. He's feeling a little bit more confident in his coming there, and he starts sharing about how he's like, "Oh yeah, Paris, that's just
The
like the human
human
body."
body.
And like she appreciates his viewpoint. Yeah, and she's like, "Oh, it was like you're 10 years old again." And I think that was our first signal that like she's appreciating what she used to appreciate about him, and the last
Hmm.
4 or 5 years or whatever are starting to fade into the background, and it's coming back to like the whole picture of who he is as a person. Um so I
Exactly.
was really happy about that. And I was so glad she invited him to her birthday dinner. I
That
thought
was
that
a
was
big
so
moment.
sweet. And he was so excited to stay. He was like, "Oh,
Oh my
at
gosh.
the beginning, he was like, well, I can catch a train in the
There
afternoon
were
or like
trains.
even later, or there are trains all the time."
Yeah, I was like, I hope he doesn't have to take the train. I just hope he stays there forever.
I
Yeah, he did not
know.
even care. He didn't even look at the schedule once. He was like, there's always trains.
Yeah.
I can take a train anytime. So when she invited him, I think also that was a big deal to him, to
Hmm.
get to meet her friends, but then he was just happy to spend more time with her, of course. Oh, even should we talk about right before? Right before when the getting ready? Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
yes.
Shalini, I was clutching my couch. I was so
Yes.
tense. What were your thoughts
Okay.
during that scene?
Okay, one, important moment I thought was when he's getting dressed. She's like getting dressed somewhere else, but he's in her room buttoning his shirt or whatever. And then he briefly sits on her bed and then gets up uncomfortably.
And
And
fixes
I was
it.
like, oh, yeah, he fixes it. So obviously he's a clean person. And he's
We
showing
love
that.
that.
But we love that. But B, I think it also showed that he like started getting familiar again, and then he was like, oh no, I don't want to seem too familiar. Like, I don't want her to think I'm here for any particular reason. Like, maybe sitting on her bed, she wouldn't be okay with that. So then he just quickly stands up and all of this is going through his head. And it was just so endearing, I thought. Like, he's so thoughtful. So that was that. And then when she comes in that hot little black dress, I was
She
like,
looked good.
damn, Belly.
You
She
little
looked
tart.
so good.
She
Yeah,
looked
you little
great.
tart. And then them like looking at each other back and forth when he's putting her bracelet on for her was so cute.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I was almost embarrassed when he said you look so beautiful. I was thinking, should I leave? Like this feels so intimate. But I
I
was the
know.
same. I loved when he was walking, kind of not even snooping. He was just kind of uh, a j- I don't know, getting himself ready, but also looking around her apartment and just seeing
Yeah.
little parts of her new life, like her picture with her 4 new girlfriends. That was really cute. And then the photos of Benito, his face. He was just thinking about the guy he saw earlier that day. And Junior Mint, of course. I was almost like, put the necklace on her. At that moment, I wrote, Junior Mint, where's the necklace though?
Yeah, I wrote that down too, because the necklace was not on Junior Mint. Where was it?
At least
She
they
was
didn't
keeping it
show
somewhere
it.
else. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was thinking about it. We predicted the ending. Honestly, we wrote the ending because we were like, the significance of this necklace, no one even knows how big of a deal this is. He got this to her when he was even still in high school. Jeremiah was with her for 4 years and got her an aluminum foil ring. Not to compare
Yeah,
them,
and a
but
stupid ass puka shell bracelet.
the sorry I cheated on you twice bracelet. Crazy. But I wrote after that whole getting ready scene, I just wrote, he's making me so anxious and emo because I just feel like it was all building and he really, the acting, sleigh boots down. Amazing this whole episode. Like I just felt every emotion and I was thinking like, um, you know, he probably feels so out of place in some ways and it probably hurts him because he's known her for his whole life and he's known everything about her and now there's this whole year they've had apart that there's so many things he doesn't know about her and there's these new people in her life and a new apartment and so it's probably overwhelming in a lot of ways. So whoever his therapist is, they're doing a great job because I made a note throughout the whole episode, the emotional intelligence, that's just the way he was communicating at certain points. I was like, the therapist is going to be paid for the next few years because he's been doing great.
Yeah, this therapist has been
Wonders.
doing work. Yes.
He was very careful about what he said.
Yes, and we'll get to that for sure in their bed conversation
And the walk.
after they have sex again. Oh yeah, and the walk. Okay. The dinner.
The dinner. Belly's friends are so funny. I was like, who's
They
going to
were
say it?
Great.
And them
They were
talking
great,
in
and
French in front of him, and he absolutely knew. He looked so boyfriend. I was like, Belly, go put a ring on his finger. Not now,
yes.
but...
He was so boyfriend. He was just like quiet, humble in the back, just saying hi to everyone, so polite. I love that they actually told us that she and Benito are no longer together. Finally, thank God. And I just thought that whole evening, the dinner leading into their walk to the water and stuff, that whole thing reminded me of, did you see 500 Days of Summer?
Yes.
Okay. You know when after they have that falling out and whatever, and then she invites him to her housewarming after a few months, and then
Oh, yeah.
he like thinks he has a version that's gonna happen in his head, and it's like they spend the whole evening together and it's just the two of them and it's all romantic on this rooftop, blah blah blah. And then it's what actually happens is that she's engaged and he's like alone at this party. I thought
Mhm.
that Belly's birthday dinner was playing out exactly like the romanticized version of Joseph Gordon-Levitt's like vision of what could have happened that evening. It's like they
Yeah.
literally can't stop looking at each other. They're always aware of where each other is. They were sitting next to each other at this table, but they are facing each other fully at
I
the head of the
know.
table. Oh, so sweet.
I noticed that too, but even in the beginning, they got closer throughout the night. I think also
Mhm.
because kind of the elephant in the room, there were jokes about it, so that helped to break the ice a little bit. But
Yeah.
in the beginning of the dinner, after they came in, they mingled. He met a lot of her friends and her neighbors. That was funny to see her neighbors were there. He was sitting between two of her girlfriends, and she was sitting next to Benito. So I felt like maybe that was the reality part of maybe 500 Days of Summer, where he's thinking, "Oh my gosh, she's here with her boyfriend, and I'm here. Why did I come here?" He's probably his inner monologue was stressed out, but then it definitely helped. The friends were all joking with him, calling him the Conrad. He should have known then and there. Like he is endgame, of course.
Yeah.
But I really love to see the dinner, and I love to see Belly's new friendships with people, and how they kind of were able to lighten the mood a little bit, and
Yeah.
it was clear she still blames herself from the villain comment that was made, but I also liked seeing Conrad also become more confident during that. He was making jokes about the situation too, and
Mhm.
when she said Benito will always be the one who taught me how to ride a scooter, and he said, "Well, I'm the one who taught you how to ride a bike." I was like, there he goes, you know.
Yes. I was like, yes, you did, Connie baby. Yes, you
Yeah.
did.
Yeah, it was so cute. I loved it, and
Mhm.
I feel like it showed her growth from the past year, and then since the beginning to see her with this whole new life and how comfortable she was with everyone.
Yeah. Um, and then one more moment when they were passing around the joint. Um,
And he didn't smoke.
when yeah, he didn't smoke when she like takes the joint and he's like, "I thought you said what was
He
it?
said,
Something
"I
about
thought you
white
said
matter."
marijuana messes with your white matter." From season
Yeah, and
1.
from season 1, and then she's like, "Do you memorize every little thing I say?" And then, when he said that to her in season 1, she's like, "Get over yourself." But then he was
Mhm.
like, "Yes,
I was gagged. I was like,
I
"This
know."
is so cute."
So
Um
romantic.
Also, I thought an orgy was about to happen, I'm not gonna lie. When they were smoking the joint in the beginning, like, I forget what it was. Everyone was just very touchy. Not even Belly and Conrad, like, her friends were so touchy, and I was like, "What's about to happen?" It is Paris. So I was like, "What's about to
You
happen?"
never know. You never
Um,
know.
you never know. Um, but I also but outside of that, I made a note of Belly speaking in Spanish with Benito. I was like, "Girl, she's picking up languages left and right." She switched stealing boys to stealing languages because her
Yeah.
speaking in Spanish with Benito I thought was really cute and showed that they did have a very genuine relationship, even though they're not
Mhm.
together. I feel like he was perfect for what she needed in the moment. Not that she used him, but
Yeah.
I think she grew a lot in that relationship. I think maybe there was just a shift from once it was addressed that they had broken up, and that's when
Mhm.
right after that's when they were sitting next to each other, facing each other. Everyone's kind of giving small looks like they know what's happening. Even before that happened, they were
Mhm.
like, "You American slut, Belly! Didn't you just break up with Benito?" Her friends are amazing, but
I love them, and I think that's what she needed too. Like, I feel like all of her friendships, besides maybe Annika, were really intense. I mean, it was Jeremiah, Taylor, and her brother, and like all of those are like super intense relationships in
mhm.
whichever kind of definition of relationship we want to go with. But then these friends in Paris are just like lightening the mood, reminding her that like it's not that deep. It was just so fun,
Mhm.
which she really needed.
I loved that, and I think Conrad got so much confidence after he knew too where
Hmm.
they stood, and that's when he was more flirty with her after. That's when he said like the bike comment. And
Yes.
then I don't know, I think he was just more upfront with how he was feeling with her and that he does still have romantic intentions. Just from the way he was looking at her. I made a note, like the way he's looking at her, like, Belly, you're not safe, girl. Um
Mm.
but yeah, I did I have anything else? Oh yeah, throughout the episode, just when they were talking and they'd have a quick flashback to the past with no sound, I was just thinking, like, that's perfect. It's not over dramatized, but that snapshot, I feel like that's probably how they actually felt in the moment. So I really like that touch.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Wait. I meant to say that in the beginning when he first sees her and he sees her with her short hair and she's hugging Benito or whatever, and it suddenly flashes back to him and her on the beach sitting facing each other. I was like, oh my god,
I know.
memories.
That's when I was already choked up in that
Yeah.
moment.
Oh, that was really powerful.
But I think the only thing at the birthday dinner that besides that is the gift. Like how he never gives his gifts in front of people. I feel like maybe because it feels so intimate to him.
Mhm.
So I knew, when they were like, "Did you bring a gift?" and he kind of just shyly smiled. I knew he was going to give her something. But
Yeah.
yeah, that broke me. The fact that he collected the sand, like he knew he was going to be away for a while.
Mhm.
I thought that was such a sweet gift to her because he also, in a way, had accepted she's probably not going to be back for a while too. So this will be a
Yeah.
little reminder for her.
Yeah, that's so
Yeah.
true. He's like, I took it when I knew I wasn't going to be back for a while, and I totally respect that you're going to be in Paris for a while because you are thriving here.
Mhm.
That was his way of saying like, I respect you and your dreams and your choices.
Mhm.
Love that.
I think it beats Benito's gift, which is really weird from an ex-boyfriend. I'm gonna say, like, it's sweet,
Yeah,
but a picture of her in bed,
it
weird.
was. Oh, was it in bed? I thought it was on the couch.
I don't know, but it
Maybe
felt intimate,
it
you
felt very
know.
intimate. I agree.
But I was like, that's weird. He was kind of peeing on her a little bit in that
I
moment.
agree. Okay, wait, where is this? Dang it, I can't find a picture of what he gave her, but anyway, yeah, regardless, it was very intimate. Okay. uh Languages. So going back
Yes.
to what you said about her speaking Spanish with Benito, that reminded me, so this is backing up to episode 9 when she is in Paris for the first time.
Mhm.
Was it 9 or 10? Actually, maybe it was from the last episode when it's the Thanksgiving. Yeah, that was last episode, huh? Episode 10. Thanksgiving
Mhm.
into Christmas, etc. So we see around Thanksgiving, we see her struggling with French. Like she can't even, she
Mhm.
goes to a bakery and is like practicing in her head to ask for a croissant. Um, and then I remember when it flashes forward 1 month later to Christmas, she says something so fluently in French. And I'm like, how did that change so fast in a month?
Mhm. I thought she
That
sounded
was
more
crazy.
fluent. I thought she sounded more fluent around when it showed it was spring and she woke up in bed with Benito.
Oh,
Was
yeah,
that the
yeah,
same?
yeah. Wait, you're right. It was in bed with Benito, but I thought that was also Christmas, right? Because that's when they first sleep together, or no?
It looks like I don't know if they slept together New Year's Eve, but it was actually, you could see the trees are pink. And I forget what they're talking about, but it's not
Oh.
the holidays anymore. So I think it symbolizes that time has passed. They've been dating since the first kiss, and her French is a lot better now because she's like arguing with her roommates and stuff.
Oh,
I was
okay.
under the impression time had passed, but they didn't say
Okay.
that.
No, that's a really good clarifier because I was like, hasn't it been a
How did
month?
that
How did
happen
her French
overnight?
get this much better? If it didn't get better for the first 5 months, how is it suddenly better?
I know.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes
I
much more sense.
that was my take, but I definitely would want to see what other people think about that. I forget
Yeah.
fully, I wish I remembered, but there was a theory about her French because it was something she actually prided herself on. Like, she was learning throughout school.
Hmm.
And even in high school, she was reading a book. She was reading The Hunger Games completely in French.
Yeah.
And so people were saying that it could be also tied to her confidence. Like she lost a lot of her confidence and individualism in a relationship.
Oh.
And that when she finally had that switch in her head where she was like, I need to let go of these boys and my old life and really focus on my life here and my relationships here, along with, her maybe dating Benito and then she could practice languages more. I think
Mm-hmm.
that's what was the switch, because 6 months there didn't do that, and she would have gotten a lot of practice in that time. So
That's true.
I thought that was a really good theory. If anyone knows the full theory, would love to hear it, but I'll keep a
Yes.
lookout.
Okay, yeah, yappers, if you have thoughts on Belly's Belly's language skills being a symbolism for her independence from Jeremiah and that whole situation, let us know. All right. So they leave the birthday dinner, they go on this really romantic walk, they go to the water, and they start slow dancing and
Oh
just
my
like
gosh.
reminiscing on their messy past together.
Mm-hmm. It was very cute that they could laugh at it in a way, but also
Yeah.
Belly said something like that feels so far away from now,
Mm-hmm.
but she didn't say in a way that as if she doesn't care about him anymore, just that those really tough memories they don't hurt anymore.
Yeah, I agree. That was my interpretation too. And I liked how they showed her, they showed both of them transitioning from dancing, just like casual dancing together. Then she wraps her arms around him and then she
Mm-hmm.
like pulls him in for a hug. I'm like, oh, she's feeling it
Yeah.
too. She's feeling it too.
I think she felt shy too, because I totally thought that was like, are you guys gonna kiss? And I feel like she probably was thinking something similar, and so she was
Mm-hmm.
also wanting to feel close with him without doing that in that moment. Also, when he said, "Do you want me to call you Isabel now?" Because I think during the dinner he noticed all her friends and former roommates
Mm-hmm.
were calling her that, and he, even when he refers to her, he calls her Isabel, at least at one point, because I remember I've never heard him call her Isabel. So, I like that she said, "I want you to call me Belly." And,
Yeah.
even in the beginning of the season, he would avoid saying her name to his therapist because it was just so painful for him to kinda, like, relive those memories. So, I thought that was a really sweet moment that, she doesn't want, even though she has a new life, she still wants to be called the same thing by him. Um, and I also made a it sounds like your comment earlier. I wrote, the emotional maturity when he speaks, Connie, baby therapy looks good on you. Because I forget
Yes.
exactly what they were talking about, but it was when he was saying his preconceptions on what Belly's new life was.
Mm,
And he was saying, in a way, I thought you're running away from what happened and also punishing yourself, which he kind of nailed on the head.
yeah.
But he was also clarifying that he did not think that she deserved that in any way. And I thought those kind of like small changes um, were very obvious of his time reflecting on it and then also communicating with her so much more
Yeah.
effectively than he ever has before.
Like, literally, though, because think back to season 1, Conrad, he couldn't get a damn word out of his mouth. Like, he didn't say
No,
anything to
he
her
didn't have
all
any
summer.
lines.
No,
Yeah.
he had barely any lines because he just could not get the words out. And now he's being emotionally intelligent, he's being empathetic, he's communicating his thoughts and his feelings.
Such a
Very proud of
change.
him.
He was very broody, mysterious, kind of bad boy in the
Yeah.
beginning, but he's such a nerd, and I feel like he's shown that, especially when he's the most himself with her. He's
Yeah.
shy and he's a little bit um geeky, and he likes to do, bad jokes with her. So I
Yeah.
really love to see that side of him, and I love to see her tease him because she remembers that part of him
Yes.
as well.
And I'm glad they actually showed him and his growth because in the books there was none of that. Like, we do not see him. We just see the beach scene, and after the beach scene, like, they don't really communicate until they're married at the very end. Sorry, spoilers if anyone has not read the books, but there's like there's no coming back to Conrad. There's no Conrad chasing after her after the beach.
Yeah,
Like, there's nothing. There's
that's my
absolutely nothing. So
complaint
I'm glad they
too.
actually showed, yeah, the
We don't get to see them. Their relationship in real
yeah.
time. It was all flashbacks. It was never the actual present time of the storytelling.
Yeah.
So I feel like Jenny Han probably has heard some of these things, and if there is some type of spin-off or quick, limited TV series with some of their life, I feel like that would be really nice to finally see them
Mm-hmm.
together, happy, not
Mm-hmm.
fighting for once. Maybe not good
Yeah.
TV, but people would definitely watch it.
Yes.
But yeah, I really loved this conversation that they had, and I thought they were going to talk about Venus. Remember how they said, like, is it a morning star in season 2
Mm.
when they were looking at the
Mm-hmm.
moon? They didn't talk about it, but when he said, I like being under the same moon as you, I was like, all of these one-liners, Belly, like, if
I
you don't, I
know.
will. Let's go.
Yeah.
But I didn't take any notes until I just write in all caps, dress. Because I was just
Yes.
watching the whole time.
When that song started, I was like, oh, weird choice. Like, it was much more sultry than romantic, I thought. And
Mm-hmm.
I was expecting, what was I expecting? I was expecting more of like a call it what you want vibe, not a dress vibe.
Mm-hmm.
But then as the song was going on, I was like, okay, I love this. I think it shows that she is not overly romanticizing it. She's just like, yes, like this is what I want in this moment. So I
Exactly.
was happy with it.
It was so good. Oh my gosh, that was cinema. That's what we were waiting for. Like,
Yes.
they did a great job. Also, we saw so many locations. Jenny Han's like, let me give you some small
Yeah.
gifts for what I put you through. Like
I know, truly, that was
making out
literally
by
a
the
present for
water,
us.
making out in the car, making out by the staircase, like a whole production. They did amazing. They can never say that there were rumors that they didn't have chemistry. We can put that to rest. They obviously have chemistry
Yes,
together.
they have
Um
chemistry. I mean, I read their chemistry from when they were in the museum. I thought it was so
yeah,
obvious.
it was so
Yeah.
I really was like, this, I don't feel like I should be watching this. This feels heart-wrenching and also so sweet
Mm-hmm.
in a lot of ways. But yeah, all of my comments when during the dress scene are all caps. It says dress, emergency, they're playing dress, yes in the taxi, messy belly, and come on, one hand taking the bra off for Conrad. I loved
Okay,
it.
sir. I see you.
Amazing. But I feel like his comment right after when they were laying in bed was a shift in tone when he said, now you're stuck with me forever. I feel like Belly did not
Yes.
that she didn't like that, but then it reminded her, oh, oh yeah, he loves me. Not that she doesn't love him, but you know what I mean. It was kind of like a comeback to earth moment.
Definitely. For sure. That is when things turned again. So yeah, they're in bed, they're just cuddling, and then she says, I wish for you every single birthday, and he's like, haha, now you're stuck with me forever. And you see her just tense up. And to
Mm-hmm.
me in that moment, that read like she is just reminded of the gravity of the situation, of her and Jeremiah, her childhood, how she broke up, like she feels like she broke up the family, etc., etc. Um, and then she starts freaking out because she's like,
Mm-hmm.
like every single choice I make with either of these boys is so heavy. And I think it just completely took her out of the moment. So I'm
Yeah.
I'm glad that happened because I do think their conversation around like, do you only love me because your mother wanted you to be with me or whatever, like they're talking about Susanna. I think that was important for her to air out because that was her biggest insecurity about the relationship. So I'm so glad that that gave them the avenue to have that conversation. And again, Conrad is just openly communicating his feelings, and he's like, I have tried so hard not to love you. I loved you even before my mom got sick again, blah blah blah, like all this stuff, just very genuinely and openly shutting down everything she was insecure
Mm-hmm.
about, which I'm so happy about.
And it kind of leans into what we talked about last episode, where we were saying Belly is an unreliable narrator, and the show has showed that at some points, like how Taylor has perceived Conrad for so long was only through Belly. And then when she
Hmm.
finally realized his feelings for her towards the end, towards the wedding, she was like, oh yeah, this is not just a high school relationship. There's more to
Yeah.
this. But I felt like that was an insecurity for Belly she mentioned in season 2 when they were at the fair together, and Conrad only was playing a certain game because there was a girl there that liked him.
Hmm.
And it comes out it was maybe Conrad's POV episode, or it comes out later that he won it for her. Like, he won the junior mint for her specifically, and it wasn't what she thought. So I feel
Mm.
like that was a moment where it kind of, like you said, shed some light on it, and she was able to put to rest this insecurity she's had for so long, and realized he's been feeling something very similar to her the whole time. And I feel like the show did
Yeah.
a good job of showing that throughout time. Even in the flashbacks as kids, I feel like out of all the boys, Conrad spent a lot of time being very attentive to her. So,
Mm-hmm.
in a way that it doesn't seem like it was in the books.
Yeah, I agree. I think they definitely showed him as a lot kinder and more protective and more caring towards her in the flashbacks in the show versus how they showed the
Mm-hmm.
flashbacks in the book. In the book, it was more like he yells at her because she got lost in the glass blowing store or whatever.
Yeah.
And then he sees her crying and then he feels bad. So then he's like, okay, we'll just stick together from now on. But it's not like he was always looking out for me thing. It's more like he comforted me because I was crying because he got mad at me thing. I don't know, but I'm glad they shifted it a little bit to actually show his feelings for her, because we really got nothing in the book. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like the reason a lot of people have been Team Conrad, besides, chemistry and other external things, is because it feels like he didn't just start liking her when the summer she turned pretty, in a way
Mhm.
that I think Jeremiah, that summer was a kind of pivotal moment for him, where he realized he was attracted to Belly. But in flashbacks and other parts of the show, it seems like Conrad has always loved her to some extent. Like, the boys would be playing video games or just chatting, and then Conrad's teaching her how to dance, like doing things that he totally didn't need to do, and a normal teenage boy
Yeah.
probably wouldn't have done at that time. So, yeah, I really loved that conversation, even though it was so hard to watch, because obviously
Mhm.
everyone got that like amazing moment where they're finally together, they finally kissed. It seems like they're back together, but lots of shows and movies, they don't show the aftermath and the very real conversation you have when you address why it didn't work before and
Mhm.
why we want to be together now. So I think it was really well done, and I wasn't mad at her because I thought it was very fair that she might not know her feelings for him because she's closed that part of her life off for
Yeah.
basically a year. So I thought it was realistic, and I honestly thought we were going to get John having a heart attack and them like some type of time jump, or them just needing more time even apart before coming back together.
Yeah, when she says, "Conrad, what did you think this was?" I was like, "No, Belly, don't do
Mm-hmm.
that to him." That was so sad, but it ended up being a really good conversation and a very necessary conversation, because I don't think she would have run back to him in the train if they hadn't had that conversation.
Exactly. And I think she needed time apart from him. Not that they were apart that long, but time to herself to process what had just happened, the fact that he still loves her, and
Yeah.
that he wants something serious with her. She needed that time alone to really think about it. And then, of course, see Junior Mint. I wrote her quote when she said, "I have brown hair and brown eyes, and I will always love Conrad Fisher." I was like, that's so cute. That should have been in the book.
So
If it
cute.
was it in the
Oh my
book?
gosh. No, I don't think so. Yappers, let me know if I'm wrong, but I don't remember that being in the book. But
Mm-hmm.
it was very cute. It was like, here are 3 facts. I have brown hair, I have brown eyes, and I will always love
It's like
Conrad
Bella and
Fisher. Very
Edward.
sweet. Yeah.
The three things. Um, but maybe a little bit less cringy. But then I said, "Bitch, put on the damn necklace." Because come on, it's time to go. And I didn't see her put it on, so I was
And
like,
she
"Oh, she
did.
didn't put it on." But then when she was talking to him in the train after her very dramatic run down the hill, run to the train station, I saw the clasp, and I knew, I was like, she's wearing the necklace for sure.
Yes. Oh my gosh, her running to the train was literally like a Bollywood sequence. I don't know if you've seen any
Y-
Bollywood movies, but it was
I
literally like
have.
that has
I
happened.
love it. I love the drama. I was crying
Yes.
harder than I thought. I was like so relieved. I was like, oh my God, she's telling me
Yeah.
she loves him. Um,
Oh, I'm so
I was so
glad.
happy. And it was the first time that one of them has said I love you and someone has said I love you back. Specifically that he has said I love you and she has said
Yeah.
it back. I was like, oh, duh. We all knew
Yes.
this from the beginning.
Duh. I know.
But it was really, really cute. I really love that scene, like you said in the beginning. Great acting from both of them. Where when he looked up,
Mhm.
his eyes were so sad. It reminded me of when he was at the airport and he still thought the wedding had happened.
Yeah. It also reminded me of just his just like really great face acting moments for in my opinion were this in the train when she says is the seat taken, then also at the bachelor party when he hears them talking about Lacey and he's like
Mm-hmm.
so angry. I think those two are the moments that stick out to me with his face acting.
Yeah, I think he's had this season. I think he's had so many great moments because he's been going
Mhm.
through it for
Mhm.
a lot of it, and a lot of the time he's been feeling the feelings alone, so he has to rely on his face acting. But I need to see Chris Briney in a rom-com immediately. Like, he's
Yes.
so boyfriend. I don't know, because I haven't seen him in any other roles besides in Mean Girls, but
Mm.
he's so rom-com. It's crazy. Like he is the face of yearning for 2025. He did a great
Yes.
job.
So true.
But yes, I loved it. I wrote right after no John heart attack. I'm shocked. Um and then them showing the scene, of course, of everyone at Cousins, but then them showing her saying, you know, I didn't go back that summer, but I did go back eventually. And she said nothing beats coming home, and I thought she was gonna say nothing beats a jet to Holland. I
Stop.
immediately when she said that, I was like, "There's no way. Is it just a Rick roll? This is just a 3-season long Rick roll." Mark my words, there's gonna be an edit of that for sure.
Yappers, please make an edit and send it to us.
Yes, I need that. But yeah, I didn't have anything else to say except I was happy for the Christmas photos, and then she's wearing her red pajamas. And they're like
Yeah.
playing with Junior Mint. It's just,
Yeah,
what we
it was
always
cute.
wanted.
But also, who was taking those photos?
Benito. They're actually a
They're like,
throuple.
Benito, we need you to be our photographer.
Exactly. I was waiting for a picture of like other members of their family, so that's why I was like, we need to see more.
Yeah. 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 Maybe that's what they're saving for the Christmas special.
Maybe. And
Maybe.
I feel like I would pay money to see her and Jeremiah seeing each other again. Not that I want
Oh my
any
gosh,
drama to
I
come out of it,
know.
but I feel like that could be a really interesting scene to show if they do
Yeah.
another special.
That's actually a good segue because I do want to spend some time. I know you don't want to do it, but we have to talk about Jeremiah.
But yes, we should talk about the rest of the show. The last two episodes.
Yeah, not besides just episode 11. So we have episode 8, which is the rehearsal dinner and the fallout. Then we have episode 9 where she's Dora the Explorer looking for her backpack in Paris.
Oh my gosh.
We have episode 10, which is the year it kind of like progresses through the year. We see Conrad and Jeremiah have a moment at their mother's grave, all of that good stuff.
Yeah, I loved that episode.
I love that episode too, but I actually want to back up to the wedding fallout. So specifically want to talk about how the morning Jeremiah is missing and then Conrad finds him in their mother's garden at the women's shelter and they have that really dramatic conversation. Jeremiah's like, "Don't talk to me." And he punches Conrad. I know you don't agree, but I actually felt really bad for Jeremiah in that episode.
I did too. I still hate him.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a really fucked up situation. Like, Conrad 100% deserved that punch, even though I love him and Belly together. It was messy.
Conrad did. It was messy, and I just had so much sympathy for Jeremiah because, like, flashback 4 years ago, he tells Belly that he likes her. They make out a little. This is season 1. And then when he thinks things are going well with her, she just comes back one morning and is like, "Hey, by the way, like Conrad and I are
Mhm.
gonna date now. And then
She's
he's just like,
diabolical for that. That was
no, literally,
one
she's
of the
so
worst
messy.
things. Honestly,
Yeah,
the way she told him too was
I
horrible.
know. It was really bad. And like, that really sat with him, and that's his trauma, and that's part of the reason why he holds on to her so hard and is happy when she says she's not going to Paris and stuff like that because of that moment. And so I think it was so fair for him the second she comes clean about what Conrad told her on the beach, that he's like, are you just trying to clear your conscience before you go to him again? I'm like, shit, that's his trauma now, you know? I thought that was very understandable.
I agree that it was understandable, and it was really a long time coming, that punch
Yeah.
for Conrad. But I liked the conversation that they had, or argument that they had together. Specifically when, for me, since season one, I've always felt like Jeremiah, it was more about Conrad than it ever was about Belly, unfortunately.
Mm.
Like, I think he's found, well, obviously she's an amazing girl besides being crazy with the brothers, but she's easy to love for him. But also it was about kind of having something, not that she's a thing, that his brother didn't have, because his whole life
Mm-hmm.
the family really just dotes on Conrad. He's the oldest brother. He's very responsible. He's very smart. He used to be a really big athlete as well before he quit football. So season one, it felt like it was more so wanting something that his brother couldn't have, because
Yeah.
there was a shift between him and Belly when Conrad and Belly almost made out by the dock, or they almost kissed by the dock, and Jeremiah did the
Mm.
firework. So it seemed like it was more about him than her. Season two, I think there were changes for sure. But then I felt like that was kind of brought back in that conversation when Jeremiah said, I thought if I could give her a ring, if I give her a ring, then I can keep her. And he was talking about that, and Conrad said, she's not an object. Like, you can't keep someone. Um,
Yeah.
and that's why from the beginning I always thought Conrad has loved her, but Jeremiah, it was a little bit twisted in a certain way where it was also about gaining favor over his brother. Does that make
Mm.
sense?
Yeah, it does make sense. And I agree with you that I think in the show that is what they showed, that it was a bit of a competition thing. He was just trying to prove to himself and to Conrad and to the family that Belly had chosen him. And
Mm-hmm.
so he was like clinging on to her and clinging on to that choice, and just, the whole reason he proposed was because he was afraid of losing her. So I do think that is true. I will say in the books, they really do a much better job of establishing Jeremiah and Belly's friendship from day one. They show that when they were kids, it's just the two of them in a room, and he opens up about how he really hates his dad and how his dad's a dick, and he really confides in her. He's there for her. They're much more of a best friendship, and they have this no secrets thing where they're not allowed to tell secrets to each other. They even established that when the Fisher boys used to visit the Conklins in Philly, Jeremiah and Belly would share a room. This was when they were really little, and they would just stay up all night talking and stuff. So I think in the
Mm-hmm.
books, it was a little bit more than what they gave us in the show, and it made it a little
Yeah.
bit more 50-50 of like, well, honestly, not even 50-50. I was team Jeremiah in the books. I'll be clear.
Don't say
Um,
that. Even at the end.
in the books. In the end, well, they just didn't give us anything. Like, I didn't see
Mm-hmm.
Conrad trying at all.
Yeah.
Except for like the beach scene. So anyway, but I digress. Anyway, going back to Jeremiah, yeah, I do think in the show it was more of a competition thing. At least a little bit of it was. And so I thought it was great. I was actually like so relieved about that conversation he and Conrad had at their mother's grave, because I think it showed that
Me
both of them
too.
were maturing. Jeremiah kind of gave up, or like let go of that competition. And I think up until then, he really felt like his father's love was conditional, Belly's love was conditional. He lost his mom. He couldn't count on his brother because they were in this weird competition. He was like so lonely.
Mm-hmm.
And when he let go of that, like that's when all of this love came flooding back into his life. He, you know, has a great friendship with Steven still. He has a great friend in Denise. Oh my God. We have to talk about him and Denise. But
Yes.
he has Denise. Taylor is still there for him. They're friends still.
Mm-hmm.
He can count on Laurel and John. He even has a great moment with his dad at the end. So I
Yeah.
thought they showed so much beautiful growth in him as a person, and I was actually really rooting for him by the end.
Yeah, I think that it showed a lot of growth, and it was definitely in that episode where they had the talk at the grave together. Um,
Hmm.
it was a good conversation where I think he was a very I won't say the bigger person because I'm Team Conrad, but he definitely got over kind of his ego in the past and said to him like, I'm not gonna lie and say I'm happy about it, but don't fuck it up. Don't waste your
Hmm.
chance with her. Um, and I think it showed a lot of reflection on his end that he needed to have from his dad cutting him off, which I
Yeah.
was so, when that happened, I was like, this makes a lot of sense. This is really
Yeah.
going to be good for him because he's always
Hmm.
relied on other people emotionally, financially, in so many different ways. So I thought that was an amazing moment for him. And even in the last episode when he was talking to Denise, saying stuff like, oh, I saw you fawning over my brother. Like, it's probably a small chip on his shoulder still, but
Hmm.
it was really, I think he getting that validation from his dad meant so much to him and made him realize that it wasn't between me and Conrad or even me and my dad. This is just something that this is just something that I need to get through and realize that people do love me and I am worthy and I can build a life for myself. So I was proud of him
Yeah.
for chefing it up. I was like, you need to stop making out with Denise because the desserts need to go to the guests.
I
But
know.
yeah, I'm definitely happy for him. But if that was a real family, that's the biggest tea of the century. So I would love to see their dynamic going forward, how that would look.
Who's dynamic? Oh, you mean him and Belly and Conrad going forward? Okay. Yeah.
Dynamic, it's gonna be a little weird, for
Yeah.
sure.
In the book, I know they show well, the very last few pages is her and Conrad's wedding, and then she like glances at Jeremiah and they just give each other like a wink and a nod, like I see
Mm-hmm.
you and you see me and we're both happy with
Yeah.
our choices. So maybe it would be as little drama as that. I don't know.
Yeah. We can only hope. And if they were such good friends before,
Mhm.
um, maybe things could go back. But it
Yeah.
totally makes sense that they were very close in the book since they were also both the younger siblings. And since
Mhm.
Belly had this big schoolgirl crush on Conrad, it makes sense that she wasn't as, open or maybe as comfortable with him at some
Totally.
points because she was nervous.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, we just need to talk about Jeremiah's slutty little glasses.
Oh my
Similar to Conrad's slutty
gosh.
watch when he was watching TV on the couch in his glasses and his
With like the
hoodie and
snuggie.
his
Yeah.
pajamas. Yes, I was like, damn,
He
okay.
knows what
I've
he's
never
doing.
really been attracted to Jeremiah, but I was like, oh, he looks good.
My my fiance and I were watching that, like he knows what he's doing. Being on the
Hmm.
couch. Um but yeah, also him living with Denise the whole time. Crazy. So crazy.
Crazy. I I'm not super mad about it, I guess. The show pushing Denise and Jeremiah together. I don't think it was the most necessary thing, but I
Yeah,
guess they just wanted to introduce some sort of closure for Jeremiah that wasn't just like
a random
yeah, they
person.
wanted to introduce someone to him. So they made it Denise. Actually, one thing I thought was really weird in the book was that Denise was not like I think she was Adam's assistant in the book. She
Mm.
was like the Kaylee in the book because she was the one that was planning the wedding
Oh,
um
so it's very
when it got
different.
taken over from Belly. Yeah, so I was like, "Oh, wait, why did they completely changed Denise's character?" Um
Hmm.
but I like who she ended up being. I thought she was a great
Me
character.
too. I liked her. Yeah, I also think it kind of was like they just put him together with her because she became a character this season, and so they both kind of get their happy ending. But
Mhm.
I do not think that would have worked in real life. She's far too independent. Like, I do think it would be nice for him to be with someone that's not going to be his mommy. Um,
Yes. I love that line when she was like, dude, I am not your mother. I was like, yes,
Exactly.
Denise.
But I don't think it would have worked out in real life, but they look cute together. So
Yeah.
I was happy for them still, and happy that there was some resolution to that, because there was a little bit of build up for that throughout the season.
Hmm.
But yes, going back to the wedding episode was crazy. I can't believe it was all in one episode. And oh my gosh, this is just torturing Conrad for 11 episodes straight. Him watching her walk down the rehearsal dinner, or sorry, the dress rehearsal, and then at the dinner, everyone kind of knowing what's going on, or some people knowing what's going on in the background. It was
Hmm.
very tense. But I thought Lola Tongue looked beautiful. And the day of the
Yes. Oh,
wedding, I go ahead.
another scene where her hair is back in a low bun. So
Yeah, she looked
beautiful.
so good there. And that was what they teased as the wedding. So I thought that
Yes.
was smart from the editor's side. Um but yeah, I really liked the morning of with Conrad coming in when he thought it was going to be Jeremiah coming into her
Hmm.
room, in that talk that they had together. I thought it was really great acting from both of them, and him getting Susanna's ring. I was like, "Come on, Belly, come on, it's over. Like, it's over
I
for me."
know.
Even if it wasn't gonna be for him, he got his mother's ring for you, because he said Belly deserves that mom's ring. A little bit of shade on
Hmm.
the ring she actually had. So I really loved that detail.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I was just going to say during that scene where he comes into the dressing room, Lola Tongue's face acting was so good when she's like
So
looking up at
good.
him and her face is like kind of twitching, like she's choking back tears, but she doesn't want to show
Mm-hmm.
him that she's weak. I was like, damn, this is so believable.
They
Great
did a great
acting.
job. And even her, the because it's in the book too, when she says later on, when she's talking to Jeremiah right before they decide to break things off, I know if I asked him to stay, he would. And you could see that on both of their faces. Like, you could see how they
Hmm.
were both kind of, they could go either way, but also they knew that it would be so hard to live without each other after they've kind of clung to each other after Susanna's death. I think that's
Yeah.
the biggest thing that he did for her. It was that she helped him through his mom's death, and then they built a life together, and vice
Yeah.
versa. But
Yeah.
yeah, great acting. And then she said, "I'm in my wedding makeup, going to the airport, and I'm going to Paris. Bye, bye everyone. Have fun."
Crazy. Okay. Okay, her and Jeremiah. So when she does get to Paris, this is episode 9 now, and she calls him from the bus. And you know how he's like, "Wait, so what is this? Are you gonna come home? Blah blah blah." And then she's like, "No, I'm staying." I was like, "Bitch, then why did you call? What was the point in calling him?"
Oh yeah, because it was. I
Like,
forget about that call. It was a few days after.
yeah, yeah. I'm like, why did you call? Obviously, he was really rude because he was like, then don't bother ever calling me again or whatever. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and he was
He
like
was
kind of
so
mean
mean to
to her, but I
Laurel.
was, oh,
Jeremiah.
he was so mean to Laurel.
That was out of line. I'm glad he
Yeah,
apologized after.
yeah,
But
me too.
yeah, she should not have called. I get it in a way. She was just making sure he was okay. But I think at the time it would have been better just to talk through other people and make sure he was
Yeah.
fine, because clearly he's not. And it showed that in a way, it would have been easier to get back together, to
Mm-hmm.
kind of quell the pain, because Jeremiah was saying, we could just work things out. And she decided that she was going to stay in Paris and was upset about it. But I think it was a very needed thing for both of them. And I was so proud of her for staying with no no class there. She figured it out. She was working while taking classes. I was so proud of her. That was one of
Mm-hmm.
my favorite episodes, the previous one, where it was the year that they had apart.
Yeah, that was a good episode.
Yeah.
I came back to like really loving Belly in that episode.
Me too.
Belly and Jeremiah, honestly.
Not maybe not that for me.
Not that
No,
for you, but for
not
me, I
that
was like,
for
oh my
me.
gosh, he's working hard. He's
I
cut
was so
off. He's
proud.
like on his own. Yeah.
Yes, I was definitely proud of him for pursuing the chef route, because that's something that's kind of been a thing throughout the series that
Mhm.
he likes to cook. And this season
70%
especially.
dark chocolate cake with a
Oh
berry
my
coulis.
gosh. When he was making the dessert, I was like, is that a berry coulis? I was just thinking
I
that in
know,
my head.
same. I was like, shut up. They really brought
Did
that
he
back.
create his wedding cake? But yeah, I loved the last episode. I think it helped because I was disappointed at the first episode in Paris because it was
Mhm.
entertaining in so many ways. I loved her beating up that guy with a backpack. That was the first time where I was like, this girl has fire. She's kind
Yeah.
of, coming back to herself, and she's better than me. If someone took my backpack, I don't think I would have chased them all over Paris like that. So I was proud of
I
her,
know.
but she
Good
was
job,
stupid for leaving
Belly.
it. So it wasn't.
Yes.
She
A
kind of
good
deserved it.
learning moment for her. Honestly, like, she's
Mhm.
21. I could have done that shit when I was 21. First time in Europe, totally.
I loved seeing her throughout the seasons. I loved her moment with Benito was really cute as well.
Yeah.
When they were just like teasing each other and like playing a game and talking, and yeah, I really loved last episode. It was really cute, and I love the letters, of course, and her finally deciding
Mhm.
to write him was really cute as well.
I know. So I thought that was cute, but I was also kind of like, this letter is giving nothing. How are they going to resolve this all in one
Her letter
episode? Because
gave
the letter,
nothing.
it
It's just her
literally gave
address.
nothing. I was like, it doesn't even seem like she likes him. What's going on? But I guess
Yeah.
that was also her kind of protecting herself. I'm glad they addressed that in the finale.
Yeah, and it goes with the timeline theory that came true, that she wrote that after she was actually, her and Benito were done, and it seemed like she was in a
Mm.
better place when she finally wrote the letter. But yeah, I think they kind of poked fun of that because Agnes, at the end of that episode, I think, when she said, that's all she wrote. And then his face was like, oh my gosh, should I be going to
Yeah,
Paris?
she's like, don't go.
Mm-hmm. But I love the little nod to the book where he took the postcard out of his wallet because that's something that is said in the book towards the end, right? It was in Belly's
Mhm.
letter or some reflection. She mentions that he kept it in his wallet for a while to give him hope
Oh,
or something like that.
yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I love that. I was like,
Yes.
oh, he's so boyfriend. He's ruining men
I
for so many
know.
people. Like,
Literally, give us yearning men again.
please, and make it him. He did a great job. But yeah, I'm trying to think of anything else from last episode. I love the looks. I love Taylor visiting. That was really cute.
So fun.
But people were like, she's kind of sick for getting Junior Mint from Conrad and immediately going to kiss Benito. But
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I was like, maybe not the best timing, but also proud of her. Like, she deserves to move on and have someone in her body count that isn't related to each other.
100%. I actually think that whole year of her being far away from the Fishers, far away from cousins, and actually dating someone else was crucial to her coming back to Conrad.
I agree. And I think that's why these episodes, Jenny Han decided to add them in since they weren't in the books. But yes, I agree on that. But I really want her to come
Yeah.
back for her graduation. A part of me was like, go and see your mom. She misses you. But also she got
I know.
a crazy apartment in Paris, so I would have stayed for that too.
Yeah.
That very unrealistic. I was like, how are you getting this with 2 under the table jobs
I
in Paris
know.
as a student?
No way.
But it's okay. Let's just pretend.
It's fine.
It's fine.
We'll
It's a TV show.
pretend for the sake of the show. Yeah. Suspension of disbelief.
Exactly. And proud of her for how her French has improved. That was so
Yes.
fun to see, especially because you see it very clearly throughout that episode too.
Yes. Totally.
Oh, also music choice throughout the last few episodes. Amazing.
Yes.
Cardigan.
Amazing.
Out of the Woods. Perfect running song for her.
Perfect running song. That's actually really not one of my favorite Taylor Swift songs, but I was happy they chose that because yeah, I think it was just like, yes, we are out of the woods. All the heartbreak is
Exactly.
over. We're just getting back together.
The song choice
That
was
was
very
great.
cute throughout. And what was it? I Can Do It With a Broken Heart for her episode when she was working and making everything work and balancing everything in Paris. I thought that was very perfect for
That was
her.
very appropriate. I had one more note from the finale, the very end when she and Conrad are driving back into Cousins. She's wearing her yellow dress, and she leans her head out of the window and is just like looking around. It was
Like she
a
always does.
callback to season 1. Yes, when she does that right when they get back to Cousins since the last year. And yeah, so I love that callback. I think it just shows that she can be like her little kid self again, and he's his little kid self again, and they're just like, they're
Mm-hmm.
so cute.
And there's a cute moment where he reached for her hand, and it reminds me of their Michael's Day when I don't remember the exact scene, but he definitely has looked at her and wanted to be closer to her. So now he can. So I thought that was a cute also nod back to how it's changed. And they've had a lot of car flashbacks, like when they were
Yeah.
driving to Cousins during the winter, and they had a kind of similar scene. So that was really cute to see them come back. And yeah, I was so emotional the very end.
Me too.
I was so
Me
sad. I
too.
was hiccuping.
Yeah, I was tearing up, like my nose was congested, and I was eating breakfast on the couch this morning. And my sister was like, "Oh my God, why are you crying so much?" And I was like, "They've just been through so much together.
You don't get it. You don't know
You
what we had to
don't
do to
get
get
it."
here. Yeah, it's like relief finally that they get to be
Yeah.
together. It was a big build up, but I thought they were gonna say something like, "In we're coming back to our house," like it's their house now or something like that.
Yeah.
But it felt open ended. Like I think it was perfect because it didn't show them. Although we wanted them to be, married or show us insight into that, it showed that this is just the start for them and that they can
Yes.
just make their relationship grow afterwards and, not get married at 21 or 22 like she was about to get
Literally.
married.
In the book, she does get married to him at 23.
Yeah.
Or maybe 24.
Yeah, they don't wait that long.
They don't. They really
That's
could have
still
waited
young.
a few more years.
Like,
yeah.
maybe more socially acceptable, but you were engaged. Well, in the books, wasn't she 19 or 20 when she's engaged to Jeremiah?
In the books, she was 19, yeah. When she was prepping for the wedding. And then, so that was only 4 years later. I mean,
yeah.
enough time to, like, get over one brother, for sure, but not enough time to, like, get married again. Just too young.
She's so messy. But, oh my gosh. I was really happy with the resolution finally. But I want more.
Yeah.
I want more.
Maybe Christmas special.
And
Maybe.
I guess they could do a spinoff for other people if they really wanted to. We didn't talk about any of the other characters. Thank God. No offense, Lucinda wasn't in it anymore. I was over it. I'm like, manage your money, girl. We don't need to see it. But
Yeah.
it was cute to see how Steven and Taylor have also grown. And they had like a lot of funny moments in the last episode where they were
Steven and Taylor
being silly with each other, and also Taylor was mad at him, but then it showed that she didn't run this time. That was really good to see. And I wasn't sure. I knew that he wasn't just gonna break up with her, but I thought maybe he would just turn it down to be in Boston. So I'm glad they had that conversation and they showed that there. So it was a nice happy ending for them too.
Yeah, I was glad that happened, and I thought it was really sweet how he was like, "Yeah, that's my dream, but being with you is also my dream." I thought that was really sweet.
I loved that. So happy endings for everyone except, I guess, Adam. Adam can be happy by himself.
He seems fine.
He'll be fine. It was kind of weird what he was saying to Laurel, but I was like, he's just being Adam at this point.
Okay, I saw something about how Laurel and Adam used to date, but then she gave him to Susanna. Is that
Did you read that in the
canon?
books, or was that just in the show?
I didn't notice it in the books. Did they say that in the show?
I'm pretty sure they did. Adam and Laurel dated first, but I also might have just seen this online and ran with it.
It is in the books. Okay, I must have totally missed that.
Not that Susanna
she
gave
him
her,
to her best friend,
but she kind of gave the
Susanna.
blessing.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, they dated first, which is
Okay,
funny.
interesting. Yeah, I've seen some things about how people would love to see a prequel about Susanna, Laurel, and
Ooh,
Adam, and I would love to see that
I
too.
would love to see that. That would be
Yeah.
good. Yeah, that would be cool to see. But yes, happy with it. Happy that Conrad is finally happy and I can rest because this has been a long season of torturing him. And yeah, I'm excited to see what they do next. I've seen a lot of Chris Briney this week at Fashion Week and some
Mm,
work that he's been doing, but I feel like we need to see him in some rom-coms, and I think he's probably ready to do more mature things. He doesn't want to play a teenager anymore. So excited to see what's next for him and also for the rest of the cast. Like I think the big three, Lola Tung, Gavin, and Chris, they're gonna have a lot of projects after this. So
yeah.
who knows what will be
Yeah,
next?
I
Hopefully more
know.
binges.
There will definitely be more binges.
Mm-hmm.
Um, all right, let's rate the season. So our new rating system is 5 points on quality and 5 points for enjoyment.
Mm-hmm.
Integers only. So what
Okay.
would you give this season, this whole season, out of 5 on quality and out of 5 on enjoyment?
I'll start with enjoyment. Definitely a 50 for me. Um, I was cringing, I was crying, I was laughing, I was angry. It was so fun to watch and it made me look forward to every Wednesday. So I would definitely rate it the highest score possible on enjoyment. And I would say quality, like I'm gonna inflate it a little bit because obviously we enjoyed a lot, but at the end of the day, it is a show about teenagers slash young adults. Like it's a little bit cringy. It's not amazing writing or anything like that, but it's grown so much in the past few years that I do have to give some points for that. So I would say overall, I would give it a 4. I was happy with the ending. I
Mhm.
was happy with the changes from the book and kind of giving Belly more of her own journey and reminding the viewers what the story is about. I appreciated that, but it's not gonna win the Golden Globe or anything like that. So like I don't think I could give it a 5. What about you?
I'm I'm 100% with you. That's exactly what I was going to give it. 5 on enjoyment because, yeah, I was literally waiting for Wednesday to come around every single week. It really got me through the summer. And on quality, I agree. Like, I can't really, I don't think I can really give it a 5 in good faith when there's shows like Severance and The White Lotus out there.
Of
But
course.
I will give it a 4 because I think they put a lot of effort into giving us hints and I thought the acting was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Besides maybe like I thought the parents acting was bad, but the kids were
I
very
agree.
good. Um and yeah, the writing was very true to the books. Well, no, let me rephrase that. I loved all of the word for word dialogue that was pulled from the books into the show. Now that I've read the books, I know
Yeah.
exactly where that came from. And yeah, so I thought she did a good job of like translating a lot of the book into the show. So yeah, 4 out of 5 on quality.
Yeah. I agree.
Cool.
Yay. Oh, now I'm sad.
Um,
We need another
I
show.
know it's over until Christmas, maybe. It's
Oh,
never over.
Christmas. We'll be back.
Yeah. Okay. Binge in progress. What else have you been binging?
Oh, I'm behind. I'm watching Wednesday right now. So I'm in the middle of Wednesday, the newest season. Um, Anything else that I'm watching? I'm still kind of on the back burner, just watching Gossip Girl whenever I'm doing something random. I think because I miss New
Nice.
York and I just want Isaac to experience the Thanksgiving episode when everyone stands up and is it
What you
apologize? Oh no, it's what you
say?
say. Yeah. Similar. Apologize was definitely a different episode. But I love that one. And anything else that I'm watching? Oh, I just started Love Island Games. I just need to watch something Love
LOL.
Island. But I only started watching because there's a clip of Chris, the guy who was with Huda towards the end,
Mm.
and him introducing himself. Like everyone, you obviously know I'm Chris. And then a girl from Island UK, Lucinda, is like, why would anyone know who you are? And so I said, I have to watch it. because I need to watch this man
Amazing.
be humbled for sure.
Yes.
What about you?
Awesome. I am still watching Friday Night Lights, which I talked about in my last episode with Ruchi. I'm doing a rewatch for the first time in many years.
Oh.
So I've been enjoying that. And then I started watching this new show on Prime Video called The Girlfriend. I don't know if you've seen
Oh,
advertisements for that.
I've seen something about it, but I haven't watched it. I heard it was
Yeah,
good.
it's really good. It's with
Okay, nice.
Robin Wright, who played the wife in House of Cards, if you ever watched that. And also, do you watch House of the Dragon?
Yes.
Okay, it's with adult Alicent
Oh, okay.
in House of the
Nice.
Dragon. Yes, they're like the two main leads, and the premise is that Alicent is dating Robin Wright's son, and they're both like a little crazy and competitive with each
Oh,
other. And I won't
nice.
give anything else away.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Gilmore Girls yet, or waiting for it to get a little colder?
Not quite. Waiting for it to get a little colder, and I'm just like so busy watching other shows for Binge Yapper Pete. But we took you up on your idea to do a Gilmore Girls episode. So this
Yay!
Sunday, Ruchi and I are recording episode where Ruchi hasn't watched it, but she's going
Ever?
to predict. Yeah, she's gonna watch the series premiere, the pilot, and then
Oh my
predict what
gosh.
happens. And then I'm gonna ask her to predict certain things like who does Lorelai end up with, who does Rory end up with, if/when does Rory lose her virginity, just stuff like that, like things that everybody that's watched the show knows are like iconic things. And then she will be asking me questions about the show and my opinions of who's the biggest
Oh my
villain and stuff like
gosh.
that.
That's gonna
Yeah,
be great.
so we're just gonna do a
You have to
fun,
play
fun
the game.
fall
Your
special.
special talent. What with the
What?
gift?
Oh!
You have. Can
Oh
you
my gosh,
please
yes.
add that in? That's
Okay,
one of my
we'll
favorite things
figure out a
about
way to
you.
do that. Yappers, Alyanna is referring to my special skill of if anyone shows me a GIF of Gilmore Girls, I can identify the episode and usually the episode title from.
It's a skill. We would test this out at work all the time on Teams. At least once a month, but more like once a week. This would be tested.
It is one of my party tricks, so we'll see.
I love
I'll try to
that.
find a way to fit that in.
I don't care if there's a normal way to put it in. It needs to be there. It's so fun. It would be funny because she has no idea what any of the episodes are. So really she would look up Gilmore Girls and then send random ones.
True.
Oh, cool.
Okay. Well, Alyanna, thank you so much for coming on and being a guest for 3 episodes on the Summer I Turned Pretty
you.
Season 3. It's been such a joy having you. Thank you for all of the hard work you did to do research on the
It's not hard
Easter
work.
eggs and all the notes you took
It's just
and
my TikTok.
everything. Hard work nonetheless. So thank you for being here. Yappers appreciate you a lot. I appreciate you a lot.
Thank you for having me, and hopefully we get to go back to Cousins.
At
To
some
be
point.
continued, maybe?
To be continued.
Thanks for yapping with us. If you loved this episode, have some hot takes we missed, or if you've got a show you're dying for us to binge next, follow us on socials. We're at Binge Yapper Pete.
Until next time, happy binging!